I can stand here today and speak to you with a bit of a West Texas drawl. Anybody pick up on that? Some people say I've got a drawl. I don't think so. I don't hear it. Brother Irvin, do you hear it? Kenny, do you hear any kind of West Texas drawl? No. Okay, yes.
Sound like a country boy.
That's it. But you know why I can speak to you today with this West Texas drawl? Because I don't have to speak German or Japanese because of you, and those who came before. So let me just say this to you. Freedom is not free. We all know that. We had 437 firemen lose their life on 9/11. They never uttered the question why. They just charged into the battle. Their communications were gone. They charged in. After 9/11, we had a large number of people volunteer for service to this great country. Since 9/11, 827 of those brave souls have given their ultimate sacrifice so we could be here today. Freedom is not free. As I pulled into the parking lot and I saw that beautiful red, white, and blue, that beautiful American flag flying in the breeze, it wasn't the gentle breezes of Fort Worth that were flying that flag. It was the last and final breath of those who gave their all. Amen. So to you who serve and have served, may I say thank you. And to your families of those who serve, I say thank you. May God richly bless you and through you continue to bless the great state of Texas. Thank you.
I can't think of a better place to be in all of America than right here at Roll Call. Can you all say amen? I'm going to show a couple pictures here. You see, I wasn't born in this country. I'm here because many of you went to my country. You see, you went to Europe. You went to Japan. You went to fight for a country that stood on the foundation of a God-given constitution. You made a commitment to that constitution. And you went down there and you gave all. And because you gave all, I'm here to thank you. Because I, like many others, maybe some here, would not be here if it wasn't for the sacrifice of the American veteran. Amen. And that means all of you. Whether you fought in Iraq, whether you fought in Korea, whether you fought in Nam, whether you name it, you are the salt of the American foundation. Don, I thank Don because I met Don about 5 years ago that I actually came here to Roll Call for the first time. And I felt at home. Why? Because this is my home. I live in America now. I live in the greatest country in the world. And don't you ever tell me it's not because I'll take you home. Alright. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures here. My good friend Tex. Now you gotta love this guy. I was his caregiver for a year. We went everywhere. I brought him here 5 years ago. That's when I started, Mark. I've met a number of men here. Homer Cox, 103 years old, 2nd Infantry. Others. I got close to them. Why? Because every time I sat next to them, I felt, man, this is great. And I would contact Europe on my phone and say, look, I want you to meet Richard Stanley. He fought in Belgium. Oh, merci, monsieur. Merci. Liberators, liberators. You're heroes in Europe. But it saddens me what's happening in Europe because that freedom that you fought for is slowly being taken away. And unfortunately, it's slowly being taken away here in America. And don't you dare let it go away. I'm serious. This is a challenging time for the American people. But I love this guy because, you know, when his buddy was George Patton. Now, he had a wonderful personality, Tex, okay? And George loved him. So he nicknamed him Tex. So when it came to duty, he said, now, Tex, son, yes, sir, you're going to take the flashlights. Flashlights? What do you mean by that, sir? He said, I don't want no flashlights. What do you mean you don't want no flashlights? Why is that, son? Is that the first thing you're going to shoot at? He said, you're pretty smart, Tex. What do you want? He said, give me the biggest gun you got. So he got a 90 millimeter. that's him over there on the right. Now, you notice, look at that picture, okay? What do you see about Tex? A smile. A smile. Now, listen, Tex, you would never think of it when you came here quietly smiling. The guy has 6 major stars. Look, 23 months overseas in England, in Germany, in Belgium, in Holland, in Luxembourg, and in France. You'd never think of it. I would sit next to him. Can you hit the next slide for me? I would sit next to him and I would think of my dad. Okay, because they were both the same looks. And I would think of the stories of my dad. Now look at this guy here. Isn't he handsome? Yeah. That's Richard Stanley. Now look at the other picture. And I'm not going to tell you who he is, but you tell me where Tex is in that picture. In the bulge. Huh? He's the only guy smiling in the picture. Right there, Richard Stanley. He's always smiled. No matter where we went, he was a happy guy. He had tremendous stories, and sometimes he was good, and sometimes he wasn't, because in '98. Can I quickly have one more slide, please? Why am I so excited about this? This is my father in 1917 on a Harley-Davidson in World War I. He had to patrol the borders between Holland and Belgium to make sure there was no AWOL, nobody coming across, and report it. Next one quickly. My dad, then quickly, what happened was, I want to do it. Am I doing too fast? Going too slow? How much time I got? Go ahead. In September 1940, pardon me, in September 1940, that's when the Huns entered our village, okay? I'll never forget the story. I was born in 45, and my mother and my dad would say, son, you don't understand. We had cobblestone streets in our little village. And when those crowds came, pardon me, Huns, you could hear them coming kilometers away in a tiny village. And fear gripped the hearts of our people because they knew. Next one, quickly, there. What happened was, yeah, we're going to take a couple more. When they came into town, the first thing they did was round up the Jewish people. And we had a railroad in our town. And my dad worked for a company that provided parts for tractors and different things. And so the Germans would let the farmers work, but all the food would go to them. And one day my father and my 2 brothers had to go to Antwerp to pick up some parts for a tractor. And so let's go to the next one. I noticed what that said on the bottom. I have another picture. I didn't want to put it up there. It's a little boy, 10 years old, who shot at German soldiers. And they hung him out a window of the house. And it put on there, ik heb naar Duitse soldaten geschoten. I shot at German soldiers. They hung him right there through the window for people to see. This is what we faced. Now my dad had to go to Antwerp. I'll close with this one. To pick up parts. He went with my 2 brothers and they were walking. And my dad noticed over by the railroad all the thousands of Jews. They were just loading them up on boxcars. And 2 little girls were walking away from the crowd. And so my dad saw that. He said to my brothers, stay here. I'm going to try to get him. He would walk up behind me. My brothers tell me this. My dad was never the same after World War II. Never. Because of the atrocities that he saw. And he walked up behind him quickly as he could. And he was no more than 15 feet away, and they were walking hand in hand away from the crowd. When all of a sudden the guard turned around with a machine gun. And he saw that. He pretended he didn't know him. Kept right on walking. And they grabbed the little girls. You know where they ended up. That's the sad part. It bothers me that our kids can play hours of video games, but don't know nothing about World War II. Quickly, one more. Don't understand what happened. They went to Auschwitz. Next one. This is the last one I do, because I get a little carried away. Don't try to do it. This is it. This is where those little girls ended up, okay? Look at this. Think about this. This is what the American soldiers and the Allied soldiers did for us. They got rid of this. In Dachau, when the American soldiers stumbled across Dachau, they were shocked at what they saw. Shocked. They lined up all the guards and executed them right on the spot. They were going to be court-martialed until Patton stepped in and says, no, you don't understand what these men did. You don't understand what they went through the last one since D-Day. They were all shot, and they weren't court-martialed, thanks to General Patton. That's the kind of guy he was. Just take one look as I walk for you. Look at that little baby. Think about it. Look in the background, the smoke. That was from the chimneys. That's what you did for us. Can you see why I get a little excited? You're liberators. You're not just some American citizen. You are liberators of America. And you must maintain that mentality. Don't ever let that Constitution get in the wrong hands. Don, I love you, buddy. You know that. I'm a crazy dude. You know? Because I love this country. And I thank God for this country. And I thank God that He inspired the Constitution so that we can live in freedom. But we have a tough road ahead of us, folks. And we need to support one another. Thank you, and God bless you.